Did my thing get deleted? There's no way it got deleted. Okay, cool. Sorry, I'm back. I was looking at something. Must have been the witch leading it. I sent something, a tweet on never mind, you know what? This is not, no. It's Homestuck related. That's why I'm not saying it anymore. I didn't have to annoy you for it. No, it's because I said 2 days ago that yesterday I would stream it for the early photo you sent, but things happened yesterday and I wasn't able, so I had to right now. Gulp. When being besieged, your true enemy isn't so much the fear of an unseen culprit, as it is keeping such fears alive for long periods of time. Maria got bored and started complaining that she wanted to watch TV. There was no TV in the lobby, so she decided to return to the cousin's room on the second floor. The adults probably wanted to make sure Maria wasn't left on her own. They told all the children to go to the second floor cousin's room. Jorichu was grief-stricken by the loss of his fiancée, led the cousins up to the second floor without any resistance. At first Nanjo had been reading a book in the lobby, but when he noticed the relatives looking like they wanted to discuss something sinister, he said, "It seems I am in the way," and returned to his room on the second floor. I got pinged for something, one sec. Get in here, brain damage, Rose. Okay, I'm back. I'm starving. And if we just keep sitting around, we'll get sleepy too. It's only Nataru. We didn't get any sleep at all last night. We will probably end up being barricaded here for a full 24 hours. It may be wiser to take naps in turn instead of overstressing ourselves. True. My husband and I would remain here, so I asked that anyone having trouble staying awake take it easy and rest. Our opponent might be expecting that, right? Even if they couldn't defeat this many people, if the number shrinks enough, they may plan to use that moment to strike. Current objective: don't be easy. Gulp. There are 7 of us here, so we could take 3-hour shifts in pairs. Tomorrow's morning is a long way up. We still have some energy now, but tonight's going to be rough. Sure will. Anyone sleepy? Don't overdo it and get some rest. Crap, I don't have water on me right now. Future me problem. Hideyoshi looked around at everyone to see who wanted to sleep first, but no one volunteered. Me! Everyone was just as tired, but no one was bold enough to go to sleep right away. Their face of the unknown culprit was just as strong as their sleepiness. Nobody? Well, don't overdo it, everyone. If we get tired, we'll deal with it then. I'll admit I'm sleepy, but I'm not in the mood now. What if everyone gets sleepy at the same time? Then what, huh? As Eva spoke sharply, she reread the second letter from Beatrice, which had been found in the boiler room. Beatrice had sent them 2 letters, which had repeatedly told them to solve the riddle of the epitaph. And she even provoked them by saying she'd give up her assets in the headship if they could solve it. Eva took out a notebook and opened it to the page with the epitaph copied onto it. Why did the witch get sleepy? True! If we just outlast her, then like GG's, yeah.
Is this the epitaph? Yes. I hate doing what the culprit says, but we do have time to waste. I think it's the perfect way to stave off boredom.
Not a bad way to kill time. Why don't we challenge it together as siblings?
Can I borrow that? I'll rewrite it just a little larger. Natsui-san, do you have a slightly large piece of paper? There should be paper in the 7th room. I will bring some. Natsui immediately brought back a blank B4 sheet of paper from the servant room. Kairi borrowed Eva's notebook, wrote out the epitaph on the paper, and laid it on the table. Then everyone quickly peered down at it. They automatically formed the crowd.
I've heard about it, but really, this is a tough riddle. I don't have a clue what it's talking about.
At one point, I also did my best to solve it, but I was just as clueless. Natsui on screw. No, it's just... I've already seen her, right? This chapter. I haven't been starved of her like it was in episode 2, so we're good. And also right now she's boring Natsuhi when Kraus is still alive. She locks in when he dies, so we gotta wait for that. Then I also lock in.
If you did know, you wouldn't have come all the way out here with a plan to make money. After all, it's 10 tons of gold we're talking about.
Cat, what are you doing, Caprica? This is the first time I've read through it seriously, but roughly speaking, couldn't it be split into 3 parts?
I've been thinking this since last night, but you really are a good thinker, Kairi-san. Perhaps you'll be able to easily solve this riddle that we couldn't. Yeah, Kairi's sharp. She might find a more interesting take on it if she counts in without any confusing biases.
That's right. Kairi-san, would you mind giving us your honest opinion after reading the epitaph? Will she finally get character development? I'm glad you find it useful. You won't give me too much credit.
That's fine, just say whatever comes into your head. Let's hear your thoughts. The hints you give always help me out when I'm worried.
Oh, so I have been helpful. It's nice to finally hear that from you.
Oh, come on, don't I always say thank you?
You two sure are close. I'm jealous. And the rest of us would also love to hear these hints of yours. We're just killing time anyway, so relax, okay? Wait, let me tie up my hair. It's getting in the way. There you go. Karibu was disturbed at being praised so highly for something so strange, but they all had all the time in the world. Realizing that this was just a way to waste time, she decided to accept the role she'd been given. I'm sure I'll say something off the mark, but, well, I'll put forward my ideas.
Indeed. What do you mean in the beginning about how it could be divided into 3 parts, roughly speaking?
I have an urge to open up the epitaph to, like, split it, but I'm just gonna let her on her own. And I think I have an idea of what she means. It's like, the first half is the find the key, find the river, way of home, whatever. Second part is all the twilights, and then the third part is the rewards. Well, I just mean what I said. Kyrie. Oh no, I heard them say it. Yeah, the voice actors say it, Kyrie. But yeah, I definitely prefer Kyrie much more. But thank you for sharing. I just wanted to share because I'm saying it my way aloud. Well, I just mean what I said. I think that overall the epitaph can be divided into 3 sections. First, there are the 5 lines up until there sleeps the key to the gold. Up until this point is the first part, which directs you to the location of the king. The sound effect, boom! And then there's the part formed by the 11 lines up until the 10th twilight, which refer to the location of the golden land itself. Boom! Vine boom, yes! The remaining 6 lines make up the part about the golden land has been reached. So I was right. Man, I'm so smart. I already saw this game in the first stream. I see. They can be divided into 3 parts with the key, the golden land, and the golden land's treasure.
Even we have been able to grasp that much.
Ah, shut up, shut up, shut up.
The 3 sections are referred to the key, the door, and the treasure.
Nii-san, don't butt in any more than you have to. Let Kairi-san speak her ideas freely.
Hi, please continue. We see it the same way you do so far. So then?
No, what if she locks in and makes me look stupid? I wonder about the meaning of the thing in the beginning, the beloved hometown. Normally, that would refer to where grandfather lived, right? Since father went to all the trouble of telling us that it's beloved, we can imagine that it's hometown he had strong feelings for. Did father come from Odawara? Wrong, that's not what it means. That's not what it means. Stupid, I'm smart. Makes you love. Okay. Odawara is definitely where he was born, but I don't think that's the hometown he loved. I imagine all of us siblings have been the same place in mind. Right. This probably is in Odawara. From what I've heard, he had a very fun time as a youth.
Being made the Ushinoya family head was probably Dad's greatest bit of misfortune in life. Probably. Father didn't actually want to become the head.
So, where is this place? Is there a river there where sweet fish swim? Maybe there was at the time. There's been a lot of development there ever since, and the sweet fish might have disappeared. It would be extremely difficult to investigate whether sweet fish were there during grandfather's boyhood years.
There probably is just a single river. I believe we all gave this a thorough investigation geographically, and even went to the actual place to investigate directly, right, Evan?
That was only a vacation, but the townscape had changed completely since father's time. After all, it was caught up in the war, wasn't it? By now, even precisely locating the place father lived is impossible. I imagine that if father went there himself now, even he wouldn't be able to pick up the place he lived anymore.
Well, after all, those guys have also gone through a remarkable recovery.
Does that part about a sweet fish river bring up any place name clearly to mind?
Oh yeah. After all, they're sweet fish, right? People say they live in rivers with clean water, so there are countless rivers that might work. Any stream that innocently went sweet fish swimming in was probably buried by the development later. It'd be different if we had a map from before the war or a person who knew a lot about the area how the area was before the war, but...
It probably isn't something like that.
What do you mean?
Behold, the sweet fish river running through my beloved hometown. You who seek the golden land, follow its path downstream in search of the key. After these 2 lines, there's a single blank line. Something is being presented with just these 2 lines. What if the next 3 lines continue based upon that something?
What do you mean something is being presented?
I don't know. At any rate, what we can get from these 2 lines alone isn't something vague, like the question of which river it might be, but the clear presentation of the keyword river. It may be that this isn't a river with water flowing down it. Okay, so far so good. The sweet fish river might be some kind of metaphor. That's what I'm saying. I've said it like 3 times that you gotta stop looking at the epitaph literally. It's every single thing it says is metaphorical. What sort of impressions does this word sweet fish give?
Sweet fish are like salmon. They're freshwater fish, but they go out into the ocean right after they're born.
There you go. That's what I said. The sweet fish represent the children, and you're specifically looking for one specific child, aka that is the bastard child.
When they get big, they go back to the river to live there. And then they spawn there and end their lives there. Well, they leave their home at one point, but when they get big, they come back and lay eggs. Might be able to link that to the idea of clan prosperity. Oh, they're freshwater fish, but they can live in the ocean. I didn't know that. I figured river fish wouldn't be able to live in the sea.
And to clarify, I did not make that very clever connection about salmon and all that. I know nothing about fish. End of sentence, I don't know nothing about fish. I just meant that I did connect that the sweet fish meant children, or yeah, I said that it means children and that the river means a bloodline, because you know it, yada 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 yada. I've said it before. Fishy or Roma hinted at oh, they're freshwater fish, but they can live in and they are called sweet fish because they have a pleasant aroma. I have never eaten one, but I have heard they can be quite delicious when grilled with salt.
What's that, Azuri-san? You never eaten salt grilled sweet fish? They're delicious! You should try it sometime soon. It is food for commoners, hardly appropriate for your mouth.
This is just my wild idea. Could she lock in? But the impression I get from a sweet fish river makes me suspect of... Incredible. I can't believe it, she locked in. But the impression I get from a sweet fish river makes me suspect a family tree. The sweet fish go out into the ocean for a time and they return to the river where they were born to spawn, right? Dude, do you mind? I'm eating. What are you... I don't know what you're trying to say here, alright? And I don't... Just keep it there. I don't know what you're saying right now. It reminds me of myself. You're right. By this point, I can confess that I've sometimes suspected that it refers to you and Maria-chan.
I see. If you just follow the river downstream, you will find a village. If you go down the family tree, all you find is Maria's name. Only her name is, say, Risato, the character father uses her village here.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that one. What are you all laughing at? Are you laughing at what's going on in the game or what Ruby said? I have 2 hours in quantum. Can you finish up? Absolutely I can. But like in seriousness, 2 hours is like perfect, yeah. I'll end stream right now. Do not cancel quantum. Isn't that right? But as you know, father doesn't like Maria. And he almost never speaks with her. Can we reschedule this for when I've not decided to start playing Medal for Repatancy randomly on a Tuesday? Enough. There's so many people barking at me right now. In the past, father told me to give Maria a completely different name. I just decided to go with Maria on my own. I'm curious to look up Beatrice's name in Japanese to see if it's spelled with the kanji for village, but I won't. I suspect that it's probably not true, and it has no bearing on any of my theories, so it's just... I'm just saying, I'm curious, and any Umi-foolers that know, just know that I possibly know. The barking emojis. Father was very mad about that, believing that it's very hard to imagine that he would reference Maria's name in his precious epitaph about who would succeed his wealth and inheritance. Have you ever let Maria-chan read the epitaph? Yes, of course, but it looked as though she didn't have a clue. She didn't have a clue, and she kept going on about the same occult stuff about how it was his resurrection ceremony for the witch.
A connection between father and Maria. Certainly they do share that occult hobby, but they never interacted. I can imagine that it refers to Maria either.
What sticks out to me is how he went off on his way to add beloved to that first line. Like you all said just now, if father was reluctant about becoming the Ushiraya family head, would he have fond memories for anything connected to that? I don't think this could be Odawara, which represents the Ushiraya head family. I believe this word beloved here at the beginning must refer to a place full of very important memories to father.
Well, that's fine. It would be hard to pinpoint since we don't have even a trace of a map from that time. At any rate, there were probably several rivers where sweet fish swimming in them near Dad's hometown during his youth.
That's if we're looking for a river where the water flowing down it, right? And then, go on, Kairi-san. apparently understand the 3 lines are starting with if you follow the river downstream you will find the village. It's probably linked to the 2 lines about the Sweetfish River. I imagine it's something we'll understand automatically if we knew what the Sweetfish River really was. Until we figured that out, it's probably useless to try and solve those 3 lines any further. What? But they were on the right track! Why did they completely ignore what Rosa said just because Maria was in the village? Are they stupid? This is why they're all dying, bro.
So we're stuck unless we know what the Sweetfish River really is. And there's no guarantee it even means a literal river. Seriously. What's up with the sweet fish? Did Dad like to eat them? Or does it have some special meaning? Is it pointless to read too deeply into it?
If you don't have both a micro and a macro perspective, your field of vision grows narrow. It might be better to be flexible and avoid thinking too deeply. Focusing on an abstract image of a river where fish swim or something that can flow, up or down. Then, the answer behind the Sweetfish River passes through the next 3 lines and makes its way to the key to the Golden Land. If you think about it this way, I wonder if it was a mistake to split it into 3 parts. There's actually 4 parts. Go down the Sweetfish River, find the key to the Golden Land, journey to the Golden Land, and the treasure of the Golden Land.
Truly intriguing. Well, you've got this far. Would you mind continuing and telling us your opinion on the most central portion of the epitaph? Up to the point where we reach the Golden Land at the 10th twilight.
That's the most symbolic and also the most disturbing part. Since the word sacrifices keep coming up, I can't help but think it has something to do with Father's occult ceremonies. There's also something that I haven't truly figured out, the middle portion. Yeah, I really haven't. Like, I figured out like what it means in a literal sense, as in like actually killing people. But metaphorically, I'm still lost on that. Like, the only thing I can come to is that it's about like ego and feelings. Like, spiritually let go of your body, the head, the knee, the stomach, etc. Because you would need to let go of your pride and ego to be able to accept Beatrice as this bastard child, I guess. I don't know, that one still gets me. But I shall be thinking about it as I go get my water on BRB. I returned. Sorry for taking so long. See ya, Phoenix. Alright. Oh, and sadly, no, I got nothing about the epitaph. Nothing new. Since the word sacrifices keeps coming out, yada yada yada. How do you see it, Kairi-san? Kairi recrossed her arms several times, peering into the paper with the epitaph copied onto it as though she was looking through it. This is very difficult. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It starts with the one who obtains the key, so you probably won't be able to continue without knowing what the key means. I have to give up on that, but I'll take a shot at trying to solve it anyway. Just like how the Sweet Fish River isn't necessarily a river with water flowing down it. It's also doubtful that this key is actually something shaped like a key. Right. It might also be a code or a keyword. After all, this key isn't something to be stuck into a keyhole. It's something that selects 6 people to be sacrificed for this first twilight. In that sense, we can say for sure that this key isn't being used to open the door to the Golden Man. But what a disturbing key is it? A key that can choose 6 human sacrifices.
How could a key select anything? Do you spin it in a roulette?
This key indicates a certain group of 6 people. No, we should say it indicates a certain group of 6 things. If this doesn't mean a literal command to offer sacrifices, for example, it could be an anagram.
An anagram? Do you mean playing with letters?
Yes. I've been thinking about it ever since Rosa started talking about the family tree. And how about village was a part of Maria-chan's name? It seems that ever since the words beloved hometown para came up, Rudolph's son, for example, has assumed that the epitaph points to some coordinates or some other geographical feature, but that might not be the case. This could be some kind of puzzle, or maybe playing with letters. Forgive me, but how does one play with letters?
Oh, well, it's like sucker Mary Barrels. What? What do you get when you take out the E's and R's? Like that. Well, you were raised well, Natsui-san, so you probably don't know.
E's and R's? Suck. I've never heard of that before. That one's fun. Mary, take out the E's and R's, huh?
Stop it. This is an undignified game, inappropriate for you.
Only Natsui-san didn't get it and had a blank look on her face. No, she's stupid! It seems she'd only guessed that the answer had to be something undignified. Going by Rudolph's and Eva Snickers. That was a weird word to say, alright, whatever. Natsui-san, it's something like this. From Maria's book of riddles, okay? There's this thing called a Tanuki notebook. It's a notebook written like a code with a lot of TAs mixed in. And if you remove all of the TAs, then the triple F graph comes up. It's again like that. Oh, I see. Natsui finally realized the answer to the undignified riddle Rudolph had posed, and her face grew red as she hung her head in embarrassment. No! Oh. But if what they're talking about is true, then like, I'm cooked. I'm not good with word puzzles, like nah, I just instant give up if that's the case. Absolutely not. So maybe kill actually means remove in that sense, right? Alright, now Ruby Tomato. That was clever, Ruby. That was clever. Okay, 6. No, this sucks. This no. This is bad. This is really, really bad. Because if it's a word puzzle, then unless the translators are astronomically godlike, it means it's just straight up impossible for me because it's probably going to rely on Japanese wordplay, which I'm not gonna have no idea about. It's cooked because I was just it came from me thinking like I'm thinking the six letters, right? Maybe it's 6 letters. So I was thinking Kinso, like his name, but that's 5 letters. So I was like, okay, that's not it. But then I thought, wait, what if in Japanese it's spelled with an OU at the end because they sometimes do that? And then that made me think, wait, what if the rest of the puzzle is like that and relies on Japanese only things that I'm not gonna know about? I didn't realize it's the episode is impossible finally. Just gonna break it to you like transparent. Okay, so like I shouldn't really try. I should just let them solve it for me. Unit 6 PhD shortness. Too hard would imply possible. Okay, there you go. Okay, so I just shouldn't. I know some Japanese. I've studied, but I can't speak it fluently. Speaking it is impossible for me, but reading it, I'm not too horrible at it. So since this is written words, maybe, but it's probably gonna use some like unsurmountably complicated words that I would never use in my life. I'm gonna keep going in case, but I understand now that I should not. I'm gonna focus on what it means metaphorically, I guess, and not the actual solution. I have never seen anyone solve it. Okay. Message received. Okay. It's the third Twilight that gets me. It has to be his name on the third Twilight. Whatever you do on the first and the second, on the third you are left with the name Ushiromiya or Kinso. Or Ushiromiya Kinso. Or Kinso is Ushiromiya. You're left with something like that. Touch the head and kill. Like that's the thing right there. Already I'm giving up right now. I'm stopping here. Because head, chest, stomach, knee, leg, and all that, like whatever word you're left with, probably Ushinomiya Kinso, that name is probably made out of kanji that if you isolate specific kanji, it means head, chest, stomach, knee, like, you know what I mean. So it's telling you to remove specific kanji from Kinso's name, and whatever is left will be the answer to whatever, I guess. But I'm not gonna know that. I don't know what you even say head, chest, stomach, knee, or leg in Japanese. So it's cooked. But that's what I got right now. Is whatever you do in the first and second will leave you with the name Ushinomiya Kinso. And the kanji used to write Ushinomiya Kinso, inside that name are hidden the kanji for head, chest, stomach, knee, and leg. And you gotta remove those, and you're left with the answer. And it's GG's, and it's impossible. Great. You know what? No more Umineko streams until I become fluent in Japanese, so I can solve it. Yes, I also thought that. It's possible that the key to the Golden Land is a word with 6 characters. Hey, that's what I was saying. In other words, the ta from Tanuki Notebook is actually 6 characters here. This is getting complicated. Play with letters, is it? In Japan, it really feels like a child's game, but it is apparently a stylish form of humor among the intellectuals in the English world. It is easy to imagine that father was interested in it. For fun rage bait, and because it is not important, I will tell you something. We have given you clues for it before. literally meaningless comment to me. Absolutely no. No, I'm not gonna remember none of the nonsense y'all have yapped about. So, hey. But by this point, I quickly lose my ability to understand it. Up until this part, it may have been filled with mysteries, but it was extremely sequential. Sweet Fish River, go down it and find a key. All of this is extremely sequential. I thought he would be nicer, which is why And as a result, we can guess that we gain a 6-character key. Okay, so, you know what? I feel smart enough for getting to the conclusion that she's about to get to. So, you know what? That's a win for me. Can't wait for the crash on 23. Forward to it. I gotta lock in. I'm no joke. I'm gonna lock in on learning more Japanese. Obviously, it's gonna lead nowhere, but at least it's a motivator to get back to studying. But, you know, no, I'm not gonna solve this. But in that case, we now don't know what we kill the 6 letters from. I think it makes sense. It's his name. You gotta remove things from his name. I mean, it's not that hard, if it's what I mean. I just take the name Ushinome Kinso. I put it... not Google Translate, like an actual good... I just look up the name Ushinome Kinso, how it's written, in proper Japanese. And I just copy-paste each character and each hiragana from each kanji, and look at which ones say chest, head, stomach, and all that. And I remove them, and I'll get the answer, right? But I don't know. That would be silly. Maybe another time.
That's right. Where do we pull the 6 characters from? It doesn't tell us.
On the second twilight, there are those who remain, which means that at the very least, that something has a limited number of characters.
That's also true. The first and second twilight, I don't know what it means. I've only been skipping to the third twilight, where you are left with Kinso's name, I assume.
You could read it like it's telling you to continue with the remaining characters after the first 6 are removed. And yet, we don't know where this something is, even though it should have been shown to us at the beginning.
I mean, like, the way she's phrasing it and the way the poem is, it's showing like you have one really long word at the start. You remove 6 from that word, and that's going to leave you with Kinso's name. And then you remove the body parts from Kinso's name, and are left with the answer. And unlike everything else I've said, I don't know what the original word is. I mean, that's the key. But like, in no world can you, like, if it's Beatrice, then there's no way you are left with anything related to Kinso if you remove 6 characters from the name Beatrice. Yes, we're almost 7. Shut up. I just want to have something so that when it gets solved for me, I can say, you know, I wasn't that far off. You know, I just shut up. Okay. I'm thinking. Nah. Okay, so in episode 7, you got time. Okay. Just be like me instead. Yeah, for now, I give up unless Kairi keeps giving me ideas like she's been doing right now. But for now, it's just, what I got is that there was some original word. This is the key that we need, that I don't know what it is. From this original word, you remove 6 characters and are left with a variation of Kinso's name. And then from this variation of Kinso's name, you remove the body parts, and what is left will be the answer to where the gold is, I guess. You got 10 years. Yeah, Jules is right.
And yet we don't know what this something is, even though it should have been shown to us at the beginning.
Okay, like right there, she already gave me an idea. It should be something that we've already seen, something that's been at the start. Which to me, just batteries. Batteries is, it makes sense, but it's too short of a name to possibly. Batteries. No. That would be 9 characters. You remove 6 from them, you're just left with 3 characters. Like, nah.
Are we wrong even in our assumption that this is playing with letters?
Everyone crossed their arms and fell silent.
Wait, did I say 9 characters? No, it's less.
It's 5 characters. I'm stupid. I don't know how I got 9 from that. I felt like I was counting each letter as if it was English, not Japanese. That was my problem. It felt like they were about to reach a novel understanding they didn't manage before, but they stumbled just one step short. Then Hideyoshi's stomach rumbled partly. The silence was broken by laughter. Hee-hee-ha. Sorry. Strange enough, by spinning the gears in my head for a change, my stomach's gone completely empty. Looks like I can't stand missing breakfast. Not true? Isn't there anything to eat here?
There should at least be enough set aside for breakfast. I will prepare it.
Oh, she knows how to cook. That's cool. Is usually when you are raised with maids and all that, you don't know how to do anything yourself. So I'm reading into it too much. I like her. I like her as a character. So I'm just wondering if she knows how to cook because, like I said long before, she was raised off money because, she's still married into the family and Kinsa wouldn't allow any poor people to marry into the family. But, like, her life wasn't all splendor. She probably wasn't surrounded by butlers and maids in her family, so she had to know how to do things herself. Anyways, cool.
I'm also starving. And I bet those brats above us are the same. Still, I doubt there's enough for the 18 people here, much less a full 3 meals, right? That's right. It'll be a long journey till tomorrow. Maybe we better take a trip back to the mansion and fish around for some canned food or something in the kitchen.
There's something more than crackers and snacks here, but if that will be sufficient, I can get them ready for you all. But with this many people, there might not be any left for lunch.
Like, so not much cooking, but she offered to cook because maybe she thought there were ingredients here.
That will do for now. Would you mind getting those ready?
It looked like the man had been taken over with the appetite that stopped all thought. The atmosphere grew more peaceful and the Epitaph investigation team split up for the time being. But Eva kept staring at the paper the epitaph was written on like she was going to burn a hole through it. Playing around with letters is nothing more than a theory of mine. There's a chance it's mistaken. Eva-san, don't take it too seriously, okay? Thank you. I'll just keep doing this on my own. Would you mind leaving me alone? Eva spoke coldly. Kairi didn't bother her anymore and instead went to help Natsuki prepare breakfast.
Yes-san. Shouldn't we also help prepare breakfast?
But then you go help. I'm too busy solving this.
Sorry. Then I'll help.
Good grief. How can you be like that? Huh? Usually a family headship will be given to the person who solves the epitaph. It looks like you've given up from the beginning as if it has nothing to do with you. But if you can solve it, there's a chance even you'll be able to receive the headship. There's a chance to steal everything from Nisa. Why aren't you taking such a once-in-a-lifetime chance more seriously? Rosa hung her head, unsure as she should answer. Too late, she regretted carelessly speaking to her sister when she was in a bad mood. If you notice anything, say so. Even though Kairi-san and I were thinking hard, you just kept nodding your head, didn't you? Come on. Isn't there anything you've noticed? Come on!
Don't you think this part strange.
Strange? What is?
The word Golden Land. The word Golden Land comes up several times.
I'm mad that I didn't think that Golden Land would be the key word. But I would have no idea how you would translate that word in Japanese, so even if I know it's the key, that's where it ends for me. So what? Do you get some keywords by splitting up the characters in Golden Land?
That's not it. Look, isn't just the 10th Twilight strange?
Huh?
Even though they are written the Golden Land.
Oh, well, thank you for showing me. That's spelled with 6 characters, so it already doesn't really work.
This one place is the home of the gold.
Yeah, no, I should stop trying. I should just stop trying.
He explicitly mixed in the character no, changing the phrasing. It vaguely bugged me but that it's only said differently here.
Whatever.
It's not like it means anything. This is father we're talking about. It could just be a coincidental change in how he said the word.
Boring.
Oh, where's boring?
Boring.
My. What on earth is this child grumbling about?
She's probably annoyed by all the tips you gave Butler-sama, madame.
Not really. That doesn't annoy me. On the contrary, I'm happy to see that useless butler finally reach a level where he can match me. That butler cool and I get a little too close. Perhaps us old foggies had best leave you young'uns alone.
When Virgilia and Ronova giggled and cackled, Beatrice's irritation meter finally reached its limit.
Enough with everyone laughing at me! Ronova vanished for a while. Disappear!
Certainly. Then I shall rest for the time being. Ronova bowed his head as though laughing and vanished. After that, all that remained was the grumpy and irritated figure of Beatrice, and Virgilia who was coldly enjoying her tea.
When you said there are no more than 18 people on this island, you actually corrected yourself, cornered yourself. I knew it. I did have this feeling it might be too early. I suppose that was right after all, wasn't it? If you had led him further astray first, things might have been different. But as it was, that trump card was a real waste. You ended up rousing him instead. In addition to denying the witch, Butler had possessed a second victory condition, one of explaining everything without suspecting one of the 18. It was at this point which he had been tossed about by 2 opposing goals that his heart should have been at its weakest. However, Beatrice had used the red carelessly, proclaiming there were no more than 18 people. Because of that, Butler had been forced to suspect one of the 18, and he had finally begun to build up the resolve he needed to accept that. Butler was stubborn, but that was exactly why fissures would run all through him like breaking china when he was struck in a fragile spot. That itself should have been his greatest weak point, but... Did I get a little too careless after my complete victory last time?
Yes, you were too careless. The last game was a difficult one for Battler-kun. It seems this game will become a difficult one for you.
A broken vase will never return to its original form, so it would be more constructive to think of a next move rather than regretfully picking up the pieces. However, now that Battler has figured out as much as he has, how should I plot against him? You troubled face is an even better snack than Ronover's cookies. You and Battler and even Ronover are treating me like sweets now.
She just say it, ooh, like Maria. Okay. I guess all witches are the same.
Even though I'm not sweet at all.
With a shameful childlike face, she that she would never have shown in front of Battler, Beatrice rolled her head around on top of the table.
Teacher, at least give me a hint. Oh, what kind of hint? If you know some really good move that'll leave Battler speechless and make him want to accept me, I wouldn't ask you to say it outright, so, even if it's just a hint. I can't. I am on Battler-kun's side right now, so I couldn't teach you something that would give you an advantage. Come on, don't be so stingy. Your disciple's in trouble, right? I seem to remember you brazenly boasting that you had surpassed your teacher. Please act like an old person and give me just a bit of your crafty ideas. Please. It's mean if you only know Battler. My. You're still a spoiled child. But it's true that I may have given Battler-kun a few too many hints. It did serve as a scolding to you. But perhaps it was a little too much support for a fair game. Isn't that right? Isn't that right? Please, teacher, at least just a hint for now. This is only a hint. Think about what it means by yourself, okay? Yeah. I'll think about it myself, so please. Please, give me one that'll leave Battler down in a dump, teacher. Considering how she acted like a great and mighty witch in front of Battler, the way she acted when he wasn't around was truly pathetic. Virgilia sighed at how childish Battler still was, despite all the time she had passed. Then, just a hint. Do you know of Aesop's fable, The North Wind and the Sun? Crap, I love Aesop's fables, but this one eludes me. Of course. It's a story about how the North Wind and the Sun challenge each other to see who can steal the clock of a traveler, right? That's right. Violent, impatient methods aren't necessarily the best decisions in all cases. You don't have to tell me that. I've already reflected on the mistake I made when I was too anxious to achieve victory. Think well about what this means. And furthermore, there's one point that Battler seems to be misunderstanding a bit, but he isn't the only one. Do you understand the victory conditions of this game? What else is there other than making Battler surrender? See? You're already wrong there. How am I wrong? Your victory isn't making Battler-kun surrender. Isn't it making Battler-kun accept your existence? What's this? You want me to butter him up, begging him to accept me as a witch? How foolish! I haven't sunk that low. Battle growled like a dog in a bad mood. Virgilia shrugged her shoulders, snickering at her disciple, who was as short-tempered as always. That is my hint. For the rest, you'll have to consider deeply on your own. In any event, your moves up until now will not work on Battler-kun. A significant tactical adjustment will probably be required. I don't need you to tell me that. I don't have a clue what you mean by the North Wind and the Sun, but at any rate, I realize I have to alter my course. I will introduce a scheme clever enough to surprise even you, teacher. I look forward to it. I wonder how Battler-kun will tackle that. I wish you good luck as well. After Battler, you mean?
scary. I'm drinking water. Ah.
Are you gonna give up and resign already? I guess you are that tired, if only you just grab a futon and sleep. As my mind grew vague and I pretended to fight that my drowsiness was sinking deeper and deeper into the sofa, I scolded myself. You also dreamed about stealing the position of family head from Kraus, right? Even though my magic's given you a chance, are you already throwing it away? You could say that, but this riddle is really hard. Even a wire puzzle would be better. At least in that case, you know for sure that it's solvable. But in the case of this epitaph riddle, we've been given no reason to be sure of that. I might just be fighting a useless battle. Still hazy, I looked at the notebook I've been holding the whole time. It was open to a page with the epitaph, which I must have stared at long enough to burn holes in it so many times hundreds of nights I lost count. That page is truly a door. On the other side lies the Golden Land, the place I've wanted to drag myself to no matter the effort ever since I was a child, and the place I was never able to reach. Am I touching the door with both hands? With the book? No. The door right there in front of me, ready to be opened, and yet still unable to reach the other side. That's right. Your hand is already on the door. Come on, open it with all your strength, and read the characters written on the door. Open it with all my strength. Read the characters written on the door. Strain your eyes. See through the thing beyond the epitaph written in the notebook. The beloved hometown definitely won't betray our expectations. The only past father held dear this happened during his childhood years. That's right. Then what about the Sweetfish River? There are several rivers where they swim, and there's no reason to doubt that this just refers to one close to the place father lived. If we take out a map and start calculating which rivers with sweet fish were closest, things will quickly get vague and we won't be able to narrow it down. Didn't you say it yourself? You said it wouldn't have to be a river with water flowing down it. If the word sweetfish is too complicated, why not forget it? Think of a river. A river! Linking it with a family tree wasn't a bad idea. Try thinking about how to link a river with something else along those lines.
Just something... a path. Any kind of path. And the fish are... things going down that path. I mean, it's fruitless. No, it's pointless. It's absolutely bloody pointless. It doesn't matter. Because... even if it's a road, a wooden path, a stone path, a highway, a railway, a aerial line, a hallway, it doesn't matter if it's any of those things, because if it actually refers to an actual place like Odawara, like a specific famous street in Tokyo or something, how am I supposed to know? I don't know Japan geography. It's just pointless. It's fruitless. This is Horsewash? I bet like most Japanese people wouldn't know either. Like I live in America, I can't tell you what the most famous street in New York is, what its subway line is called. I don't know. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. Whatever. It isn't a river. But where else could sweet fish swim? Oh, but if we're talking about places sweet fish can swim, then maybe the ocean has something to do with this. Oh, that's true, I guess. Yeah, that's true. I can just... Like I said with the name, I could look up how it's spelled and look up and just go through the pain of getting the letters. And I guess, yeah, if I figure out what this river is supposed to mean, I can go to Google Maps. Yeah, you're not wrong. But it makes me mad. It makes me fun. No, you're right. You're giving me hope. You're giving me hope again. Maybe. But I don't know what it is yet. You know, it could be any path where people go. So I got nothing right now. This is horsewash. Whatever, I'm back. Didn't my husband even say that they go out into the ocean even though they're river fish? To the ocean? No. Whoa, what's the song? Whoa! Ooh! Lock in. This song is awesome. No. But... Huh? Did you notice? But that's just a faint memory. There's supposed to be a room for storing books in the building, right? If you investigate, you can make sure. If that's the Sweet Fish River, and if the key might be a 6-character word, then could the key actually be resting in that river? I don't know. Anyway, I have to search in the atlas. But even if I know that, I don't know from what I should take the 6 characters. You really don't know? Think deeply. We're pretty smart, so our ideas are solid. Don't think of it like it's something as massive as the riddle or of the epitaph, but like it's a child's riddle. Men are always children, no matter how old they get. Even if father has advanced in the old age, that doesn't change the fact that he's essentially a child at heart. Throw away your awe of father. Think of this like it's a worthless infantile game with riddles like the ones Maria used to you suddenly brought out on the boat. Riddles. Worthless. Infantile. Huh. I'm sure that was... What was it? I'm sure if my memory isn't wrong, that is probably the case. No, I don't have to rely on my vague memory. I should be able to figure that out immediately by searching the library. You're probably already noticed the answer. All that's left is to investigate whether it's correct or not. Come on, Eva. Let's go to the library. Make sure no one sees us. There, we can find a mountain of thick books that didn't fit in Father's study. I'm sure we'll find a book that answers our question. Quickly. This is the first and last chance we'll ever get to make our dreams come true. When Natsui tried to lay a blanket over her, Eva suddenly jumped up. I'm sorry. Looks like I woke you.
Eva, if you're sleepy, don't overdo it. You rest first.
Thank you. I'm just going to the bathroom for a bit to wash my face.
You should take it easy and rest. You're just going to make yourself feel worse, you know?
I told you I'm fine. I'll be right back. After leaving only those words behind, I rapidly left the lobby. The lobby was partitioned off by a door, so as soon as I went into the corridor, they could no longer see me. The library was next to the servant room. Father always owned a vast book collection, but ever since he started to become engrossed with the occult hobby, that collection grew even larger, so that the normal books suitable for a normal study suddenly had been forced out as the study overflowed. So this so-called library was mostly used as a storage room for those normal books.
They were all thick, like complete encyclopedias for intellectuals. But that was very convenient for me now that I was investigating something. I entered softly, and just in case I checked the room with my gun ready, making sure that there were no suspicious people here. Then I looked in from the inside. I actually wasn't thinking what the murderer might be hiding somewhere. What scared me was the thought that one of my siblings might hear what I was investigating. My heart had started racing before I realized it. I was half asleep just a moment ago, so I didn't realize how significant this thing I noticed was. But as I gradually became aware, my heart started to feel like it was about to explode. I wonder if any of the other siblings have noticed this. I don't think Kraus and Rudolf will notice, but I don't know about Kairi. She has extraordinary good intuition. And I don't know about Rosa either. Rosa's stupid too. She's always been so incredibly so. Really? I'd say she's been wise enough to make you think she was stupid so that she didn't earn herself unnecessary malice. Here it is. I wonder if we'll find it in this one. I put the book out and flipped through the pages. So this is the Sweet Fish River. I see. This is what the Sweet Fish River means. But don't dawdle around, research further. Can you show me? Yes, I understand. If you follow the river downstream, you will find a village. By using the character, does that he mean a town or something? That's just an area of dense population, so these could be any number of those. Why have you stopped thinking? Oh, is this too much work for you? If only you just give up. If only you just hand the Yoshiri a headship over to Kairi. I don't want to. I will become the head. This is my first and last chance. What is this village? What does it mean? Do you find one of you go down the river? In the village, look for the shore. Look for the shore the two will tell you of. Shore. Get it? Oh, go. I understand. Shore. The pieces that I hadn't been able to understand at all began to snap into place all by themselves. I couldn't even remember to close my open mouth. My throat grew completely dry. Is it really okay for this to be the answer? Really? But this isn't 6 characters at all. I'm absolutely sure this is the answer, but this doesn't reach 6 characters at all. Did you stop thinking again? In that case, think of a way you could read it with 6 characters. If you can't think of one, then research it. There has to be an answer. You must not doubt that. Is believing in that too much for you? If only you just cry yourself to sleep and then you can just give up and die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 6 characters. Found it. This is the key to the Golden Land. Yes, this is the key to the Golden Land. The key to our childhood dreams. The only keyhole this key can be stuck in is that place. That has to be what offerings the sacrifices means. I'm sure you get it by now, right? Whatever, dude. Whatever. I'm gonna research. I'm not gonna try too hard. So line or crown thingy there.
This font sucks. Okay, we're gonna spend the next hour on this. I just gotta try. Okay. Crown. Whoosh. And I whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. I can't. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. This is stupid. This is unbelievably stupid. I actually found it. Okay. Sato. No, I got nothing. I got nothing. Whatever. One more chapter, and then we're done.
This way? Go this way. They're inviting me to go this way. My heart leapt, because there, gaping wide, was an open mouth in the eerie darkness. What is this? What is this? When I strained my eyes, peering into the darkness, I saw something that looked like a light switch. In addition, there was a switch with open and close written on it. Where are you? When I resolutely pushed the switch, rough lights like you'll find in a coal mine turned on sporadically, making a staircase that stretched underground come hastily into the view. Easily enough, it looked even more gloomy with the lights turned on. Near the light switch was the open and close switch. It would probably open and close this, but if the open part happened to be broken, I might be shut away in this creepy underground area for all eternity. So for the time being, I didn't touch that switch. And if I readied my gun again, I slowly went down the stairs. ceiling was very high, so I didn't feel cramped. On the contrary, I felt as though a cool breeze was blowing upwards, and that creepiness seemed to form a sort of aura. I readied my gun and carefully stared forwards. I descended the stairs. The walls, the stairs, the lights, all of them were very old-fashioned. It was easy to suspect that this had been built back when the mansion had been constructed on this island. There were cracks in the ceiling, and water clung to the walls, constantly dripping down. The water fell into a gutter that had been set up alongside the stairs, then quickly and silently flowed into the underground darkness, as though it was telling me to go faster. The staircase kept turning back on itself. I don't know how far down I've gone, but I think it'll be much deeper than one floor. What? Okay. Eventually, a rough metal door showed itself, and there, characters had been written in the dark red paint. They had probably been written a long time ago. On the 10th twilight, the journey ends, and you shall attain the power of the Golden Land's treasure once and for the last time. My heart, which was already about to explode, jumped about even more as soon as I recognized those deep red characters. Wait there, I'm checking something. No. Nothing. Whatever. There's no mistake. This is the last stop. Father's Golden Land. I calmed my throbbing heart, somehow regained my composure, and readied my gun again. But since in the end I couldn't open the door with my gun held in both hands, I lowered the gun carefully, hid my breathing, and opened the door. Whoa. This place is... My first impression when I saw the room was that it might be linked to one of the rooms in the mansion. That's right, it had exactly the same atmosphere about it as the sealed VIP room on the second floor. But this was underground, so there were no windows. There was only the solemn light of a grand chandelier. But even though it was dimly lit by the faint light, the quality of the interior was more than enough to take your breath away. A bed with a canopy and a rocking chair that looked like it would be comfortable to sit in. An extravagant sofa and carpet. Was I right? Was I right that Beatrice really does live here all along? And that she didn't count herself as one of the 18 humans because she's a witch? I'm just gonna continue. The room was like a dream every girl yearns for at least once. 1 second. Terrible time to get called, but I'm back. And yet, since it was an underground hidden room with no windows, it felt more like the hidden house of a witch. I never swallowed the legend of Beatrice, witch of the forest. However, after being shown this room, it certainly became hard to doubt that she actually existed and had lived in this room. Is someone there? Even though I was completely shocked by this room, I carefully, no, timidly searched the interior with my gun raised. And at the back of the room I found it.
What's with the sound effect?
My gas came out strangely like a bunny being choked.
Happiness of marionette bonus.
After all, after finding something like this, no one would be able to stop that kind of stupid voice from leaking out. It's here. It's really here. Father's gold. On the opposite of the canopy bed, it was piled up in a massive heap. It was a mountain of gold ingots. Of course, they weren't piled up carelessly in a way that would damage the dignity of this room. A beautiful scarlet satin wave was laid on the mountain of gold, creating a beautiful three-colored mix between the red, the gold, and the black of the deep darkness. It was as though when the witch slept on this bed.
That is enough from you.
Nobly, refinedly, gracefully, beautifully. It was attentively piled there with an imposing air. When I tried to grab a single gold ingot, I was surprised at its weight. It was probably about 10 kilograms. Just this ingot would probably be worth more than 10 million. The Ushirima family crest, the one-winged eagle, was lightly imprinted on it. It was hard to tell whether it had worn away or whether the impression had been made carelessly in the first place, but it was certainly the crest of the one-winged eagle. Just how many ingots were piled up there? By doing a quick count here and there and judging by the height, there had to be a few hundred at least. My mind's already gone blank, so I can't do the math well. Even a moderate guess would put it above several billion yen. That's right, of course. After all, there's 10 tons of gold, right? At the current value, there's more than 20 billion yen of gold. Found it. I before anyone else. I found it. In front of the mountain of gold, I spread my arms and looked up at the ceiling. A laugh without a trace of dignity flowed out from my entire body. I had no intention of laughing in a weird way, but I couldn't hold back the happy feeling that was flowing through me. My older brother probably couldn't accept this loss just because I found this gold. But from now on, there would be no changing the fact that I had been the one to find it. To steal away the headship of the family, some more subtle bargaining would probably still be required. But after everything I've gone through until now, that's a completely trivial problem. Even if I lose out on the Ushiriya family headship, I already have 20 billion yen worth of gold. At times I thought that money is such a worthless thing. I thought there were so many things in this world you can't buy with money. But now I see that it's just a lie. Just an excuse that the have-nots make for themselves. In front of this mountain of gold, I finally realized something so obvious. By using this money, I can give birth to all the happiness in the world. With this money, my husband company is so completely saved. We will always be happy as a family, and I can leave a vast amount of money to George. The rest of the relatives will eventually be ruined and despair and disappear. At that time, George will use this gold, and just like grandfather did, he will revive the Ushiriya family's lost honor. George is the true successor to the Ushiriya family. It happened! My wish was granted! That dream I had wished for ever since I was born into the world as Ushiriya Eva has been granted completely at this very moment. My husband and I will be happy for all eternity, and I can also give my only son George eternal happiness. There's no way I'll waste it on foolish pleasures. My older brother has chewed the Ushiriya family to bits, but George and I will revive it! And that means I truly have succeeded the Ushiriya family headship! I was successful. I did it, honey. And George, your mother finally succeeded. No one will be able to turn us down. That's right. After this hurricane, we will be smothered by sad nights. Congratulations, me. Congratulations, Ushiriya Eva. Right here, right now, the sad half of our life will have its heart desire granted. It's all thanks to you. I was given this chance because of your magic. Because of that chance, I was able to make it here. Thank you. My magic wouldn't have been granted if we both didn't believe in each other. So it isn't just the power of my magic. This was our victory. Because of that, congratulations, us. Thank you. Thank you, Ushiriya Eva! I'm glad I didn't give in before now. I'm glad that I didn't drown in sorrow and forget to keep struggling. No, this is my magic. Our magic! Your magic was the real thing. Baptist, the witch of the forest, is nothing more than an illusion. You are the real witch, a wielder of real magic. That's right. Right now, you are the golden witch, Beatrice.
You shouldn't have said that. Ella decided to leave for the time being. When she climbed the stairs again, trying to leave the secret place, she saw a creepy swaying human shadow blocking her path, and her dreamlike state was blown away. So that's another thing I was about to say. So I said like this was where Beatrice lives, but now I realize the more obvious thing to say is that this is where Kinso goes to. Wait. Where's the red text? Where's the red text? I was trying to find something else, but I just found something unrelated. I'll talk about that later, looking at the red text document. Where's my death order text? Where's it? There it is. Whatever. I'm gonna talk about it now. I just wanted to get to the first thing that I was thinking of. So, I was about to say that I think this is where Kinso goes to hide whenever he fakes his death. So I was trying to solve where it could be by looking at the murder order of the 6 chosen by the key, and trying to see which one was the last one, so that's where he's at. But I can't find the red text that talks about the hidden rooms, hidden doors, where Battery said her definition of a hidden door. Trying to find it. Did she not say it? Did I imagine it? Whatever. Well, I can't find it, but like, it's a fact, I think, that she said that in all the rooms where episode 2 murders happened, none had a secret crevice where someone could hide in. You don't gotta do that, Semz. It's fine. I'm just gonna... Just tell me if I'm wrong. Just tell me if she didn't say this. She said in red that in none of the rooms there were crevices where you could hide in. Her definition of a hidden room is that... Of a hidden door is that the door cannot lead you outside the room, but it's not just a door that lets you hide inside the room. But... she didn't say that about the chapel. She only said it about the rooms, like Jessica's room, Natsuki's room, the servant's room. But she didn't say that there were no... Yeah, nothing about the chapel did she say anything about hidden rooms in the chapel. Yeah, like, look at this. Talking about the chapel, she said nothing about any hidden doors. Talking about Jessica's room. First, there were absolutely no types of hidden doors. This door is the only way in or out. So she said that outright about Jessica. Now... servant room. Entry or exit is impossible without a single door and single window. So yes, there you go. Natsui's room was exactly the same, just like usual. The door and the windows are locked from the inside. There was no fraud or tricks, no means of secret passage, or nor places in which to hide. So you said that about Natsui's room. And there you have it. So every room where a murder has happened, she's talked about how there's no hidden rooms, except for the chapel. So that's already a massive clue. Then I'm thinking that it works in the murder order that I wrote last stream. If Kinso hid here after killing Kanon, it means that no, wait. No, never mind. Wait. Sorry. I mean, it makes sense as Kinso's hiding place, but I can't figure it out in the murder order. Because the key to the chapel was in the boiler room. And Battery said none of the kills were suicides. One second. I'm back. Okay, none of the kills are suicides, which means that Kinso would have been needed to be locked in the chapel, and then someone else put the key to the chapel in the boiler room with the fake body, which means whoever that last person was who put the key in the boiler room needs to kill themselves in one of the other rooms. AKA a suicide, so it don't work. It's over. Wait! Wait. Maybe I'm just looking too far into it, but she said it is impossible to unlock the lock to the chapel with anything but the chapel's key. Unlock, not lock. What if a master key can lock the chapel, but only the chapel key can unlock it? Like, come on, the red text is so important that you have to look at it closely. So I'm gonna go with that. You know what? Whatever. I don't care. I'm going with that. So it works. That means that never mind, it don't work. Never mind. It don't work. Because it's impossible. No, I don't know what I'm even trying to think here. It is impossible. If Kinso was locked in the chapel, that means that someone needed to lock him in. Which means someone needed to be left to commit suicide. Unless there's one more culprit instead of just a 6. But I can't see who unless it is Batteries. There's too many variables. I'm done. Anyways. The other thing I found while researching this theory was the name of the secret mansion. I had completely forgotten. Kuwadorian. Kuwadorian. That's 6 characters. I am going to put that into a kanji site and see if I recognize anything there. Probably not, but I'm just gonna do that. Okay, what about this coop? Nah, too complicated for me. So it's cooked, but I'm just saying, I have Kuwadorian in my mind now. Because again, I was already suspecting Beatrice to be like the sweet fish or whatever, because that's what he truly loves. So maybe it's the mansion that he's talking about. Yada yada. Don't care. Everything sucks. This stream is the worst stream ever. This bollocks. I hate everything that's going on. Anyways. This sucks. So many thoughts and none of them lead anywhere. I'm just being crushed here. I'm being crushed. Whatever. Let's just finish this chapter. Kinso's gonna kill Eva. Who is it? For an instant she believed that the true master of this room, the real Beatrice, had appeared. It seemed that the other person was also holding a gun. The two of them were pointing guns at each other, and eventually they each realized who the other was. Oh! Okay, did not see that one coming. Rosa? Nessa, what are you doing in a place like this? That's my line. What business do you have in such a place? I should have given you that hint, Nessa. If I hadn't, I definitely would have been the first to find this place. Too bad. It seemed that Rosa knew where the staircase went, and what was waiting ahead of her. You should talk, even though I reached this place before you. I worried too much about the Sweetfish River. The Sweetfish part didn't really matter that much at all, did it? That isn't true. It was an excellent hint, wasn't it? Well, of course, maybe there was no need for it to be sweet fish, but when I heard that sweet fish are fish that go out into the sea, I was able to figure it out. What's inside? Why not see with your own eyes? It definitely won't betray your expectations. Don't be afraid, Nessa. I never had any interest in who becomes the head. I don't even care about the Umineko family name. Honestly, I actually feel good about you stealing the headstrip from Krasny-san, who was always swaggering about because of it. Are you serious? Of course. I'm the outsider of the Umineko family siblings. Even if father had named me as the next head, there's no way Nissan would accept it. I try not to have such naive dreams. Let me see too, Nessan. Disprove your victory. As long as I receive the proper portion that the siblings agreed upon, I plan to proactively acknowledge you as the true victor in this game. If you shoot me, then you'll have this gold all to yourself, won't you? The same goes for you. If you shoot me, this gold will be all yours. For a tense moment, the sisters pointed their guns at each other. Eventually, they see stuff that glinted their eyes. They lowered their guns. Eva removed her finger from the trigger and held the gun upside down, a position that she couldn't quickly shoot from. When she saw that, Rosa held hers the same way. That's right. The plan of shooting the other and having all the gold to ourselves is attractive for both of us. But if one of us suddenly disappeared on the island while it's isolated by the typhoon, there would be a huge uproar. If we hit the corpse here, it probably wouldn't be found easily, but we couldn't be sure. No matter how many billion yen worth of gold is on the line, it isn't worth the risk of fleeing murder. On the contrary, that would be give Krasny-san and the others ammunition to ring us for all their worth. We're worth. I agree. It may have been a blessing in disguise if you're the one who showed up. Instead of Nissan or Rudolph, you're the sibling I trust most. Thank you. And you're the sibling I trust most, Nessa.
want to see the gold too. Want to have a peek? Now I feel like seeing it again too. Even though I saw it with my own eyes, it still doesn't feel real. Unless I see it together with you and confirm once more that it actually exists. It feels like the gold will turn to a fog and disappear. Let me answer a ping really quick. Oops, back. Eva started ascending the staircase once more. However, she didn't carelessly expose her back to Rosa. Even though at a glance it looked like Rosa had lowered her guard, she definitely didn't show any signs of carelessness. Then they reached the room of the witch once more. Rosa also gasped, stunned speechless by the vast amount of gold. So clearly since, Kinso isn't here, the theory that I made up was completely meaningless, pointless. So everything I said, all that waste of time, just throw it away. It means nothing. This room means nothing. This room means nothing. It's probably where Beatrice once were. Maybe she currently resides here if she is currently here. But that's it. Kinso, nothing to do. It wouldn't have worked at all with the theory of the death order. So, gone. Stupid. Then they reached the room of the witch once more. Rosa also gasped, stunned speechless with the vast amount of gold. Eva and Rosa walked absent-mindedly through the rose garden. They had left the guest house secretly, so they had to be careful when they returned. It was time to snap to it and keep the guard ups. Congratulations, Nessan. Thank you. You decided that, didn't you, Nessan? 50% goes to the one bearing the title of successor of the headship. It certainly worked out well for you. Now the portion is in Kraus Nissan's. So your share is now 50% along with a quarter of the rest for a total of 12.5 billion yen. Isn't that incredible? 2.5 billion is enough for me. RIDDLE Nissan won't complain either. Kraus Nissan will probably be the only one to complain. Yeah, you're right. After all, Nissan is the de facto manager of Ronkenjima. And since the gold was on these premises, even though I was the first to discover it, things might get complicated if I don't handle it cleverly. I wouldn't get complicated. Didn't we give it our all in the discussion last night with that in mind? I wonder if it will really go that smoothly. I've already completely gotten over my excitement. How we managed everything from here on out is the real problem. There's a problem for the new head of the Ushiroya family. A problem for you to enjoy, Nessan. It has nothing to do with me. That's some big talk coming from you. I suppose you are the second discoverer. If you'll at least give me the early payment we decided on, I'd like 150 million yen by March. Yes, that will be fine. If you support me, I'll graciously pay you that much. I'm not Nissan. Anyway, where do we go and shock Nissan and the others? Even if we cover up the actual location, I want to see Kraus Nissan's shock face as soon as I can. Wait a second, Rosa. Wait a while before telling everyone about it. Huh? Why? You idiot, isn't it obvious? This is that haunting Kraus Nissan and that sly Rudolph we're talking about. Even if we do announce it eventually, it's certainly too early now. Unless we carefully investigate him to make our next move, it's possible that all of the gold we finally found will be snatched away by Nissan. Eva thought she was saying something extremely natural. So when she saw Rosa's expression suddenly cloud over her, she was a little surprised. What are you unsatisfied about? You know what kind of person Kraus Nissan is. Nessan, that's against the rules. What do you mean? Didn't we make a rule that whoever found the gold would announce it immediately? If you hesitate, the foundation of the rules will be destroyed, and that could lead to something worse in the future. With Kraus Nissan as crafty as he is, that violation of the rules will come back to bite you. Don't be stupid. This is Nissan's island, and that gold is just now wasn't cash. We're talking about the liquidation of a vast 10-ton mountain, right? It would take a significant amount of time to carry it off and turn it into cash, and that will only work in Nissan's favor since he has practical control over this island. Don't you realize that? I don't like it when you search out each other's weaknesses like that. All I want is to reach a clear decision regarding my 2.5 billion portion. Of course, if you were to give 2.5 billion in cash right now, you will be free to continue negotiating however you like. But until I have my share in my own pocket, I will follow the siblings' rules. How can you be so naive? You don't understand Nissan's craftiness at all. It wasn't that Rosa didn't understand the craftiness of her older siblings. In that sense, Rosa more or less understood why Eva was being so cautious, but in her heart, she couldn't clear away her suspicion that Eva wanted to keep all of the gold to herself, because she knew that Eva was at least as crafty as her other siblings. In other words, Rosa wanted to put a stop to any chance Eva had to keep the gold all to herself, by quickly informing the siblings of the gold's discovery. Rosa, sorry, but at least listen to me once. Are you saying that if I don't listen to you what you say, you won't be able to get me the 150 million? That isn't the way I want to say it, but if you really need that money, supporting me is a more realistic option. If you talk to Nissan and Rudolph, even the portion that's your natural right might disappear. You don't want that, do you? For a while, a severe expression that she'd never shown to her sister before rose to Rosa's face. There wasn't even a trace on her restraint as the younger sister. There was just the ruthlessness. No, the seriousness of a single human arguing about a vast sum of wealth. Eva made light of it, chuckling. My, how careless we must be to sit around here talking like this. Even though a frightened murder case is just taking place, the culprit might still be on the island. I'm sure it was just a Semz play acting. There were no murders on this island in the first place. Oh, so you think that after all. The circumstances surrounding those 6 deaths showed us that clearly. A crime on the outside couldn't possibly have created those 6 closed rooms. Dr. Nanjo said they were all dead, but that was a lie too. This is all a complicated act that father cooked up. All of these servants are just plain dead. A murder never occurred in the first place. There's no way that there's a murderer prowling about. Huh. I'm surprised you noticed. You look pretty scared, so I didn't think you figured out so much. I'm good at reading a mood of the situation. I've got you to thanking me for treating me so well. That's right. Come to think of it, now that the servants are dead, almost everyone on this island is a member of the Ushiramiya family. As for Nanjo, he proclaimed the deaths of the servants, but when the relatives began to discuss the riddle of the epitaph, he disappeared off to the second floor as if he didn't want to get in the way. All of it was an act to get us to try and solve the epitaph, and that's why You need to announce that you're the victor, Nessa. There's no way the burnt corpse was really father. He got a corpse with the right number of toes from somewhere and went to all the trouble of burning it in a creepy way of his so we would see it. I'm sure he's hiding somewhere, watching to see how you behave. I'll bet he already knows you reached the Golden Land, Nessa. That's why you should announce that you're the winner soon. I'm sure Father would appear out of nowhere to applaud you and proclaim that you are his successor. Then again, I still got to pester you for that 150 million, so I can't stand against you in any way. So you listen to what I say and keep quiet about this to Nissan and the others. Make your position clear, Rosa. I want to tell them. We made the rule just last night. We shouldn't just throw it away. Of course I will announce it in front of the siblings. However, I want to closely analyze the situation first. We've got to carry out 10 tons of gold converted into money and distributed it fairly. Until I have proof that I can do all that without Nissan getting in the way, I want some time to think. I only want to postpone my announcement until then. I'm certainly not keeping it secret because I want it all to myself. You'll definitely announce it to everyone sooner or later, right? Yes, of course. Even though I want to rub it in Nissan's face as soon as I can. But how much time will we need to think? I don't know that until I thought about it. Will one night be enough? I can promise you that it will take only one night. Out of respect for you, the successor, I will support you for one night. This year's finally conference will end tomorrow morning. Then when the typhoon passes and a boat comes to get us. That's right, when the seagulls cry. I will remain silent until then. If you still feel that you need more time to think after that, then we'll cross that bridge when we get there, okay? I'll support your position. To the best of my ability. You really are cunning, aren't you? I'm surprised. Were you always this resilient? I guess it's true that women become stronger when they have a child. I realized that in myself when I had Maria. Understood. For the time being, thanks for your cooperation. We can talk about it tomorrow when it comes. Yes, that's right. I'm convinced that you'll become a fair-minded successor to the headship, one who will never even consider taking all of the gold for herself. Isn't that obvious? I will split the gold evenly among the siblings. No way, I found it! Because we solved the riddle of the epitaph! So this gold is all mine! I won't give it up to anyone! I am the head of the Ushiramiya family! I am! To which side Eva claimed exclusive position in a loud voice. Of course, it didn't reach even close to Rosa's ear. It was probably didn't reach Eva's either. Indeed, I shall acknowledge it. You are the true head of the Ushiramiya family chosen by the witch's epitaph. Now I acknowledge it upon my name. You are? That outfit! You couldn't actually be Beatrice. Maybe Beatrice was happy that Eva had called her by her own name. She cackled cheerfully. In concert with a laugh, gold butterflies crept up as there was a storm of gold dust was spinning around the room. And the room shone the color of gold. Indeed, I am the Golden Witch Beatrice. There is no need to be so frightened. Goodbye, Ruby. Apologies that I couldn't finish before because of all my yapping. But yeah, I'm assuming the chapter's almost over and the stream shall end then. I am praising your exploits, truly excellent. Imagine that you would spectacularly solve that riddle of the epitaph. It is worthy of my admiration. You're the one who sent that letter, so I inherit all the gold of the Ushiramiya family headship, right? You wrote that in the letter, and I overcame that challenge. Indeed, I shall acknowledge it. Right now, all of the gold piled up here and everything of the Ushiramiya family is for you to do with as you please. After all, from this moment on, you are already the Ushiramiya family head. Really? It's true, right? Right? Do not be agitated. I am openly praising you. As proof, I shall grant you this. Beatrice took the ring off her own finger and held it out to Eva.
She fearfully accepted it and realized that it was a ring.
Could this be?
Indeed. This golden ring is proof of the Ushiramiya family headship returned to me from Kinso. From now on, it is yours. You may place it on your finger and hold it high before your siblings. No one should doubt that you have now succeeded the Ushiramiya family headship. Eva stared closely at the ring. It certainly wasn't a fake. Without a doubt, this was the real thing. She dreamed of receiving this ring someday, focused on this day over and over again, and it was now finally a certainty. One sec, thinking about something. Alright, we're back. This ring had now this sign designated her as the head and had been handed over to her, and timidly she put it on the middle finger of her left hand. In that instant, she felt a deep emotion welling up inside her that she'd never felt before. Her mind grew blank. Both eyes were opened. That ring was on her own finger. Not in a dream, but a reality. That ring is also pleased. After all, it managed to reach you, one who had dreamed of putting it on their finger for so long. The ring. Father's ring. How many nights have you dreamed of putting that on your finger as you have done now? The strength of those feelings became your magic and materialized itself. Now you are worthy of calling yourself a great witch. Who are you? Are you really Beatrice? I am the Golden Witch Beatrice, the Ushiramiya family alchemist. In accordance with my contract with Kinso, I will now pass everything on to you. All of the gold I entrusted Kinso with, and all of the wealth he built up through that, and the honor and headship of the Ushiramiya family, and I will pass on my powers in the title of the Endless Witch. The title of the Witch. I will pass on all of my magical power, the titles of the Golden Witch and the Endless Witch. Following my predecessor's example, I will hand over my name, Beatrice, along with that title. You may now call yourself by that name. Eva gulped. The chandelier light which had seemed dim now felt too bright. By my name, I shall now commence the succession of the Golden Witch. The instant Beatrice made the proclamation, everything was buried by a golden sparkle, and changed into a majestic place that looked like an audience hall. In the audience hall, there was no crowd of Beatrice's minions and brethren, there was a crowd of Beatrice's minions and brethren, as well as countless gold butterflies celebrating this first succession ceremony in 1,000 years. As she looked, she saw Beatrice on the throne that only the Endless Witch was permitted to sit on, holding a golden staff, presiding with a dazzling dignity. Without being ordered by anyone, Eva automatically kneeled, hanging her head. I'm just taking this in. Things are happening, that's for sure.
The Goratin respectively handed Beatrice the golden staff in the shape of the one-winged eagle. After Beatrice stood up and received that staff, she lay on the tip of Eva's shoulder and spoke. It was a proclamation of our 1,000 years in coming. Ushirimiya Eva, you have spectacularly solved the riddle of the witch's epitaph and reached the Golden Land. I praise that accomplishment. And hand over all of the witch's magic as well as the title of the Golden Witch and the Endless Witch. From this point forth, you may call yourself by my name. By my name, Beatrice. Come, raise your face. Then stand and accept the staff. I am most grateful. Eva stood up visibly and took the magic staff from Beatrice's hand. Was it? Eva Beatrice saw the riddle of the witch's epitaph and was hailed as the new Endless Witch, has a natural talent for magic and is expected to grow into an extraordinary great witch. In many cases, genius witches are swallowed by their own power while they are still young. That is the trial permitted only to geniuses, and those who overcome it will surely leave their name in the history of the Endless Witch. Will she be able to overcome the trial that defeated her predecessor? This is too much. This is too much. This is too much. This is too much. I'm losing it. I'm losing it. Her head was trembling slightly. As soon as she grasped that staff, she was wrapped up in a brilliant sparkle of gold, as though gold butterflies were flowing out from inside of her. In the instant she succeeded the Golden Witch, Eva felt something in the depths of her soul be reborn. To describe it in a word, it was energy. Energy with a gold color. It felt like she was waking up, as though she had been half asleep ever since she had been born and was opening her eyes for the first time. It felt as though her true eyes inside her eyes were open for the first time in her life. I have nothing to say. This is so... It'll come to me one day. It'll come to me. I just... What? Think. It has nothing to do with the epitaph. This is nothing. This is what Virgilia told Beatrice to do. This is the thing that's gonna put a wrench into Battler's thingy-mabobs. That's what's happening. Whatever. Indeed, a fitting and beautiful outfit for the Golden Witch. Come, you may show yourself to all of these people. Let them know that the new witch is indeed you. Eva, No, the new Beatrice turned around timidly. When she did, the witch's minions, which filled the vast audience hall, honored her with an applause that sounded like the roaring of the sea. Come, everyone, replace all of the portraits of the Beatrice with the new Beatrice. Lift up words of celebration for the new Beatrice. Immensely rage-baited right now. I want to end stream immediately. Now, Beatrice, congratulations on the succession of the Golden Witch. I hope that you will become able to stand on your own as a proud Golden Witch and an endless witch. Yes, I will do my best. I expect a composure befitting the endless witch from you, unlike your naughty predecessor. Teacher, we're in the middle of a serious ceremony, so please enough of that. Congratulations on the succession of the Golden Witch. New Beatrice-sama. I am called Runaway. I am one of the 72 demons permitted to serve the Golden Witch. If you are ever inconvenienced in the slightest, please let me know at once. Thank you. Runaway is rude, but reliable. If anything confuses you in your new days as a witch, speak to this man and he should be able to help you. Predecessor Beatrice-sama. It is a shame that I was not permitted to serve you further, even though we have finally been reunited like this. These last 1,000 years have been very entertaining for me. You have my deepest gratitude. Indeed. 1,000 years with you wasn't boring. Please take care of the new witch. Yes. I, Runaway, will obey that final order of the former Beatrice. You'd better thank me, okay? I keep my signature to recommend you for the succession of the witch, okay? In other words, if I hadn't signed you, you wouldn't have been able to become a witch. So think me a little, okay? This is the Witch of Certainty, Lord Lambda Delta. Sir, the recommendation of a witch from the Senate was required for your succession as an endless witch. Lady Lambda Delta recommended you and became your guardian. Thank you. Hey, Battle! This kid isn't grateful enough! I think I'll take back the recommendation! The person making these recommendations shouldn't act like once again. Is just a stream of interruptions. The person making these recommendations shouldn't act like a child, okay? If you've signed, then make sure you take responsibility. Lady Lambda Delta is also the Witch of Certainty. The Witch of Certainty prefers to make fate firm to create a fate of certainty. She really liked and highly valued your efforts until today. Well, you had that unfortunate childhood, all that unrewarded effort. I can sympathize just a bit with that. It's not like I felt sorry for you or anything, so don't be so full of yourself. From my point of view, your succession, it was more of a coincidence, Umineko. It isn't worthy of my recommendation. This is Lady Berencastle. She's quite hard to please. Still, you could say that that just having her participate in the celebration makes you exceedingly lucky. I only came because this was a rare once in a millennium event, and I heard there'd be some good sake.
With the food batteries makes, I'm sure they'll have streamer tier. Okay. Alright.
New Beatrice-sama, please come greet us as well. Huh? Oh, I'm pleased to meet you.
The seven sisters of Purgatory were gathered in the line. The oldest sister Lucifer took a step forward and kneeled. This is furniture that serves me. As a gift to celebrate your inheritance, I will send them to you. Once you succeed the position of Golden Witch, you will need to carry out the resurrection ceremony for yourself. The seven sisters of Purgatory perform a central role in that ceremony. They're a villainous bunch, but they serve their purpose. Have them do whatever you wish. We would always be by Beatrice-sama's side. Please order us to do anything you desire. We'll accomplish our task without fail. After that, many nobles and minions visited and offered words of congratulations for the new witch. As she responded to them confusedly, she felt as though she was growing lightheaded due to the lack of oxygen. She couldn't tell if this was something real or unreal, but there was just one thing she could understand. A feeling of achievement of being permitted to call herself the Golden Witch. That alone was a term she could definitely understand. What is all this? Of course I'm not gonna swallow this story, but what in the world does it mean? Aunt Eva is the new Beatrice? Are you saying she's turned into a witch? Hell! I was also surprised to think that someone would be able to solve that riddle. However, that is the rule. I must follow it and pass on the position of the Golden Witch in my name. It is hardly something to be surprised about. At the very beginning, you wrote that rule in the letter and announced it. Eva-sama was simply the first to be successful. That is all there is to say on the matter. Virginia, are you there? Yes, here I am. What does this farce mean? Even if this picture of strange witches showing up one after another is some of her bullcrap, isn't this almost like Aunt Eva turned into a witch? Calm yourself. She has simply received the title of Endless Witch and might call herself that in the future. The succession ceremony is certainly nothing more than an act to promote the child's explanation. Thank you. I needed to hear that.
Don't fall for the same move over and over again.
That's right. That whole grand ceremony was all phony. But it's at least the fact that Aunt Eva solved the riddle of the epitaph, and at the same time that means she succeeded the Ushiramiya family headship. After getting 10 tons of gold, Aunt Eva might as well call herself the Golden Witch. Is that it? Damn, it's as complicated as ever.
My. Is a boorish human unable to comprehend the grandeur of the ceremony? Oh well. Being unable to read between the lines is what makes you human. I pity you, but I do not blame you.
Don't look at me like you feel sorry for me. Still, for the time being, that's something I need to check. It is regarding this younger version of Aunt Eva. In other words, the definition of this new Beatrice. What is that?
Even if I tell of it, you will just persist in your disbelief in magic and witches, correct? So there's nothing in particular for me to explain. Feel free to believe in whatever it is seems to be best for you.
What it seems to be to me? Then how should I interpret this? For now, it might not hurt to view it as a visualization of a separate entity inside Ushiramiya Eva.
Of course, you cannot blindly accept that answer, but it is probably a reasonable theory to quote for the time being.
In other words, I should think of Aunt Eva and her as the same person, right? I don't like where this is going.
In any case, from now on, my name is no longer Beatrice. I have passed it on to Ushiramiya Eva. Which means that I am nameless. Butler, don't you have some name that'll be fitting for me? I shall accept your recommendation. How about a name that's refined, full of elegance, and a little cute too, if you can?
Just Bato is good enough for you. There's probably a big enough difference between Bato and Bathurst to keep people from getting confused.
So the same old Bato, is it? It doesn't feel wrong, but it's boring for some reason.
They say the tempers of black tea and a woman's heart are difficult to gauge at any rate in an era.
Butler could, at any rate, stay calm from this point onwards. The fact that we can now call her and Ushiria Eva apart works to our advantage, compared to the time when we called the child was still Bathurst.
And that's exactly why I like it even less. What's she thinking? That Bato? Over there, the witches form a long light to bless Aunt Eva, who had the figure of her younger days and who had now possessed the name Bathurst.
It was like a witch's coronation.
The countless gold butterflies flapped their wings, directing this fantastical gold sparkling space. They were all praising her. As I started from the distance, I looked at the newly born Bathurst who had a slightly embarrassed smile on her face. Her expression, which had been lost and confused at first, seemed to be full of the happiness that she was finally starting to recognize. That expression didn't look at all like someone laughing insanely while still standing before the gold. It was just the innocence of a person basking in their own joy. A person who had denied the existence of witches, I couldn't view this witch succession ceremony with a joyful expression and accept her. However, when I looked at that innocent smile, I felt like I wanted to offer my blessings just for the moment. It's always beautiful when strong efforts bear fruits and are rewarded. Aunt Eva, who had always yearned to succeed this headship and who had worked hard since her youth without reward, had spectacularly taken hold of that chance given to her by the riddle of the epitaph and had finally gained the position. How divine is the smile of a person whose childhood dreams have been granted? I definitely won't accept witches. But Butler put his hands together, making a small sound. I hadn't reached her ears, but I did bless her. Congratulations, Aunt Eva. You spectacularly solved the riddle of the epitaph before anyone else. It's your victory without any complaints. I won't accept all that about the Golden Witch and so on, but I will accept you as the new head of the Ushino family, and I'll celebrate that sincerely. As though urged on by the butler's applause, Bato also clapped. It was a slightly odd scene. Butler and Bato, who opposed each other, were standing side by side and applauding the same person. I'm not applauding for a witch. I'm clapping for all of Aunt Eva's efforts up until now. As am I. I offer my sincere applause as a blessing to Eva, who spectacularly solved the epitaph. I don't like applauding with you. But well, I decided that I won't worry about it now. Divine punishment won't fall on me just because I clap with you every once in a while. It's not so bad every once in a while. Still, it is fun to applaud. Even though it was Eva who was successful and not me, for some reason, I'm starting to feel happy too. That's because blessing someone means the same thing as sympathizing and sharing with them. I see. Then I have even shared this irrational happy feeling with you. Since we are a pair of enemies trying to make each other surrender, it is an odd experience. Well, just for now. Let's have a truce and clap, okay? Not the laughing viciously, playing around and applauding even louder. As though eagerly trying not to lose the fact that she clapped. Butler went along with her and clapped even louder. When he did, as though some ceremony had ended, everyone applauded and happily praised the reborn Bathurst. Just as though Butler's and Bathurst's applause had been the final thing needed for her succession. You know what? That's my clap right there. That's my actual clap. The rage baiting just completely left my body. I'm happy. That was so well written that I feel happy now. That was great. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what this means. That was great. That was great. Good job on Eva. I don't like you, but good job. And with that, good ending. With that, we end stream. Ruby Tomato has missed 30 minutes of stream. Very sad. But now I shall part ways and say farewell to everyone. Thank you all for watching. That was great. Great stream. It wasn't a great stream. I got interrupted so much. That sucked. And also I got rage baited. I fell for schemes and gaps and my theories were wrong and everything sucks and the ending was nice. That's all I can say. Farewell.